How's it going, YouTube? I was just going to make a video here on my experience at the Denver MEPS. So, I didn't go for the first day. I took my ASVAB prior to going up to MEPS. But I arrived there in the evening at about 4:30. My recruiter dropped me off. I checked into the hotel, checked into my room, and then I went out on the mall because the hotel is like right on the 16th Street Mall up in Denver. And I went out and had dinner and hung out for about 3-4 hours, and then I checked back in, went to bed, and then got up at like 03:30, 04, something like that. Went down and had a breakfast at the hotel. It was alright. And then loaded up in the vans, drove like 2 minutes to MEPS, and then we got out of the vans, stood in this like courtyard thing for like 20 minutes, and it was cold, in the cold, and then went in through security, did all that good stuff, went up, and we had to like check our bags and all that stuff, because you cannot carry anything. Like, you can't have glasses. All you can have is like your paperwork, and like you can't have like sunglasses on. Like, I had sunglasses on my head and I got yelled at, just have it. But yeah, you can only really carry your paperwork and your ID. So and then got our paperwork, went into a briefing room, had about a 45-minute briefing about like signing all the paperwork and all that stuff. And they tell you, like how this is your signature, and if your recruiter had you lie, he's not going to get in trouble, you are, and stuff like that. It's basically like a scare tactic to get you to tell the truth. And then immediately after that, I had a breathalyzer test and a blood pressure test. And oh, I forgot something. Also, you get like a name tag, and on the name tags, if you're lucky, one person from each branch per day gets like a letter. I think it was an S. Basically, that puts you to the front of every single line. So, I mean, when I went, we only had like 20-something people, so it didn't really make a difference. But on normal days, it wouldn't make a big difference. But so after the breathalyzer and the blood pressure test, I got a blood test where they draw your blood. Yeah. And then I attempted the pee test for the first time, but I didn't have to go pee, but this doctor started yelling at me to go in there, so I did, and obviously it didn't happen, didn't have to go pee. So after getting chewed out by a doctor, as usual, I mean, the doctors there are mean. They're all going to yell. Not all of them, but a good majority of them are mean, and they're going to yell at you. And yeah, it's get used to civilians wanting to be mean to soldiers, especially like basic training and all that stuff. Yeah, civilians are always mean to you. But sorry, moving on. But then I did my vision test and my hearing test, and then I did my one-on-one physical with the doctor, and then I went back and did the pee test successfully. And then a lot of people, they stress about the pee test. Everyone there, not everyone, but good majority of people there stress about the pee test. So, I mean, if you have trouble, trust me, you're not alone. Like, at least 50% of the people there struggle with it. I mean, just stay hydrated and do it, because you have until, like in the briefing, they're going to give you a set time of when you have to pee by, and it's like some ridiculous time. It's like 11 or 12 o'clock. So, if you cannot pee in 5 hours, I mean, yeah, that's not good. But so don't worry about it. You only got to pee like 30 milliliters too, so it's not that much. Like, look it up, it's not that much. So and then then we did the group physical, and that was terrible. Basically, a bunch, you're all the dudes who are ready to do it. You get in like this cold room. You strip down to your boxers, and they have you do a bunch of movements like clapping your hands and reaching over your head, duck walk, slam your knees into the floor. I mean, none of them are hard. It's just a few of them you have to fight your natural instinct to like slam your knees into the hard floor. I mean, you're not going to do that, but you have to fight your instinct to do it. But I mean, there's also 20-something of you in a room, so it's a lot of stuff you can get away with. But some exercise they have you do like the important ones, they have you go down one by one by one and do it. But yeah, it's not hard. There was only one that gave me trouble, and that was where you have to like start on your knees and stand up off your toes. That gave me trouble, but I did it. And then after that, after you finish all your stations, because you might not do that last, you can do them out of order. You can do them with whatever's open. I mean, there's a bunch of stations and there's doctors kind of everywhere just waiting. So if there's an open station, go take it. Because some people were still processing at like after lunch, and I was done at like 11 o'clock in the morning. I was done. So just yeah, that's about it for that. And then you're gonna go to your liaison office after you're done, and they're gonna have you sign like 30 sheets of paperwork. Well, before you do that, you have to take like a survey, like a 50-question survey. And then you go to your, and then they'll call you into the office. You turn in your survey, and then you'll go through and start signing paperwork, like 30 pages of paperwork electronically, and they just rush through it. So I mean, yeah, you're kind of signing stuff half of it you can't read. They just have you really verify your addresses and all that stuff. And then you're gonna pick your MOS. And when I went initially, they didn't have an MOS I wanted, so I said no, I'm not gonna sign today. And the liaison's gonna get all pissed because, well, they're trying to get you to sign. And I straight up walked out. And then I went back a week later, and they had my MOS, and I signed. I just went up and signed and walked out, literally. So, but just don't get pushed into an MOS, because they're gonna try to push people, especially like the 18-year-old kids. When I went through, I was, I'm in my early 20s, but they know, the kids right out of high school, they know how to try to really like manipulate them into just doing it. Like they'll tell you a bunch of fake stuff just to get you to sign. I mean, they might. I mean, my liaison didn't, but I heard stories of like the Navy one. He was telling people guys were coming out with like they wanted to be like cool jobs, but there weren't any available. So instead of just waiting, they signed for like a janitor type jobs and stuff like that. And they're like, well, it's only 4 years. I'm like, 4 years is a long time, man. But yeah. So just be smart with picking your MOS, because you got to do it. You're gonna have to do it for a while. But yeah, that's it. Any questions or comments? Put them in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Bye.